Justin.
Justin.
All right, okay. We have a great show for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and a special show for me. Our guest tonight is author of the book, Praise Jesus, and is a candidate for state senate on the Republican side, Christine O. Clark, who, coincidentally, is my mother-in-law. Yes, and believe it or not, I'm not sure how I married into a family with Republicans, but I want you to know I have great respect for Republicans. At least I did for the Eisenhower administration when I wasn't even born yet. No, seriously, folks. I do have great respect for my mother-in-law's passion and sincerity, even if she's dead wrong on every issue. But she will get a chance to speak for herself in just a minute. In fact, if we're lucky, at the end of the show, you may get a chance to meet my wife and some of the rest of the fam that I see in the audience tonight. With all the different issues in my family, folks, we really put the fun in dysfunctional. But on a serious note, yes, I can be serious. I have a confession to make. It turns out my own Republican mother-in-law doesn't watch my show. Can you believe that? She was apprehensive about coming on the show because she heard it was very liberal. Oh, my. But we're fair, right? I mean, you want to hear all perspectives, don't you? And so do I. So, here's the confession, to encourage her to come on the show so that we can let her speak for herself. My producer kind of implied to her that I wasn't really a liberal, that I just played the role of a fake liberal for comedy purposes, and she bought it. Well, here she is, ladies and gentlemen, Christine O. Clark, former missionary, author of the inspirational Praise Jesus, and Republican candidate for state senate. Welcome to the show, Christine. You're just in time.
Well, thank you, Justin. I've heard a lot about your show, and I'm glad to be here. I'd like to take every opportunity to connect with voters and make a joyful noise unto the Lord.
Well, we're glad to have you. I was just telling the audience that this is a very special occasion for me to have my own mother-in-law as a guest on the show. I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind telling us about your book and how you got into politics. You spent 11 years as a missionary in Uganda, is that right?
Yes, and it was there that I married your father-in-law, Bob. And we adopted our son, Reagan. My book, Praise Jesus, is all about that miraculous journey.
Well, you adopted Reagan when he was 8, but you knew him when he was a baby, right?
Yes, he was the son of another missionary couple. When they were called to heaven by the Lord, Bob and I were finally able to have a son as an answer to prayer. Praise Jesus, that was 10 years ago. He's almost 18 now.
And of course, you have a stepdaughter, my wife, Michaela.
Yes, Bob's daughter from a previous marriage. What a great blessing to have a daughter, too. He gives the barren woman a home, making her the joyous mother of children. Praise the Lord. Psalms 113:9.
Yes, praise the Lord. Praise Jesus.
Justin, are you a Christian?
Oh, well, I'm not really religious at all.
It's never too late to learn about the Lord and accept Him into your heart.
Yeah. Oh, say, Christine, can I call you Christine? Christine, how did you get involved in politics?
I felt a calling from God to return home from Uganda with my family, that I was needed here for a higher purpose. I was elected to the school board and then city council, and now here I am, running for state senate. It's been such an honor to serve the people, to bring common sense and morality and conservative values back to the community.
Are you worried about going up against a heavily favored incumbent on the Democratic side?
Not at all. I am here by the will of God, doing what God has asked me to do. It's in His hands.
Well, what do you feel are the most important issues in this election?
There are so many, but my top two are defunding Planned Parenthood in this state and passage of stronger religious freedom legislation allowing upstanding people of faith to deny services to those who are immoral.
Oh, you mean discriminate against gays?
And no florist or baker or wedding planner should be forced to participate in a gay marriage ceremony if they believe that it's sinful. And no clerk issuing wedding license should be forced to issue a license for a gay marriage. Christianity is under attack in this country. The Supreme Court may have forced us to allow abortion and gay marriage for now, but that doesn't mean those rulings can't be challenged at the state level through creative legislation. Abortion and gay marriage, abominations.
Well, you know, Michaela's mom, Janice, one of my other mothers-in-law, is happily married to your husband's sister, Marnie, who is also my mother-in-law.
Ridiculous. A marriage between two women is not valid in the eyes of God, any more than a marriage between a man and a donkey or any other abomination the liberals want to propose for that matter. Do not be deceived. Neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men who practice homosexuality, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. 1 Corinthians 6:10.
Well, I'm pretty sure your sister-in-law, Janice, is working hard to protect state funding for Planned Parenthood and expand gay and transgender rights in the state. She's heavily involved in those issues as chief of staff of your rival on the Democratic side.
She is my husband's ex-wife and his sister's partner. But I will never consider her my sister-in-law. Opposition to abortion and gay marriage and transgender rights. Ridiculous are clear examples of the differences between Republicans and Democrats. I stand for the sanctity of life and for the respect of biblical morality and authority in our laws.
Speaking of laws, where do you stand on issues like gun control, global warming, or raising the minimum wage?
I oppose big government, liberal, pseudo-science, socialistic welfare programs that rob people of the will to work, and all the laws that infringe on our constitutional rights. We are a God-fearing Christian nation with inalienable freedoms that we have won through sacrifice, and I intend to hold up every one of those freedoms.
Well, not everyone would agree that we're a Christian nation.
The founding fathers of this nation and of this state were very clear about their belief in God. We are not a Muslim nation. We are not Hindu or atheist. We are a Christian nation. And if I had my way, more people would be Christian. It's time to restore America to the values this nation was founded on. That's why I'm running for office.
Remind us who we are.
is Praise Jesus. And she is the Republican candidate for state senate. Well, looks like we don't have time to meet the rest of the family, but join us next time when we will have Christine's Democratic opponent as our guest. Any chance we can look forward to a debate in the future?
Yes.
There you've heard it, ladies and gentlemen. The gauntlet has been thrown down for a debate between the candidates right here on Just in Time.
Hey, good job, good job.
All
Right, Justin, our favorite liberal son-in-law.
Ah, your only son-in-law.
That was great, honey. You really held your own. Wasn't Christine great?
Yeah, sure.
Where's Reagan? I expected him to be here.
Well, he wasn't feeling well, I guess. He's not answering his phone.
Well, let's go home and see if he's okay.
Sure.
Bye, everyone. We've got to go. I want to find out what's the matter with Reagan.
Just ask any Democrat.
Huh?
She wants to find out what's the matter with Reagan, so she should ask a Democrat.
Oh, good one. I never pay attention to anything she says, so I missed it. Are they gone?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Janice, what do you suppose her chances are in the election?
I think it will be a tight race. Her message resonates with a lot of voters.
When I was growing up, this was a blue state. What the hell happened?
This whole part of the country shifted to the right along with the South. We're a red state now. Well, I'm a liberal voter, stuck in a red state now. Yeah, we've got open carry gun laws, don't ask me how. When Obama was elected, some folks went kind of crazy. Round here at coffee parties, they only drink tea. Well, I'm a liberal voter, stuck in a red state now. Well, the idea of gay marriage seems to frighten the right. Yeah, to see us kissing must be a terrifying sight. They want to turn the clock back, make us all Doris Day, put us back in the closet and pretend we're not gay. Yeah, the idea of gay marriage seems to frighten the right.
Reagan, you're not dressed for church. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just don't want to go to church.
Well, that is not an option in this family. In this family, we go to church. You don't have a choice about that until you're 18.
Just can't get here soon enough.
You just turn around and march upstairs and get yourself ready for church. Reagan, what are you doing? First of all, I said go back upstairs and get dressed respectably for church. And second, you know we do not eat before we say grace. What has happened to you? Bob, are you going to do something? Are you going to allow this disrespectful behavior to be continued? Bob.
Reagan, what's going on?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing, my foot. Your mom and I have noticed, well, a lot of sullen behaviors from you lately. You're just acting, well, weird. Growing your hair long, eating next to nothing, staying in your room 24/7 when you're not in school. Well, we never see you anymore, and when we do, we get this. I come up every night to say goodnight, and you won't even acknowledge me. We have tried to be patient.
The patience of Job.
Well, figuring this was some kind of phase you're in. Is everything okay with your girlfriend? What's her name? Chastity. I never see her anymore either.
Yeah, things are fine with Chastity. I mean, she's away for the semester, but we Skype a lot.
Whatever that is.
It's a computer thing, dear. Is that it, Reagan? Is that all you have to say for yourself?
Oh, please, you don't even want to hear what I have to say.
Of course we do. We're your parents. We love you.
Yeah, you're more like puppet masters.
What's that supposed to mean?
Look, I'm not going to church, but you better get going. Go press the flesh with your constituents. It doesn't matter if I'm there or not.
Yes, it does.
Why? So that you'll look good? Oh, there she is, Christine O'Clark, fabulous adopted mother, and her grateful son. Oh, praise Jesus! I mean, by the way, did you know she's running for state senate? If I don't show up, will the press think something has gone wrong with your perfect family?
What has gotten into you?
God, don't you see how self-serving and hypocritical all of this is? I mean, politics aside, let me ask you about something. What does God think about Aunt Marty and Aunt Janice? Does God love them?
Well, lesbians are sinners according to the Bible.
If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Leviticus 20:13.
Well, that doesn't sound much like a loving God. So why should I go to the church of such an unloving God who condemned my aunts to death for committing the sin of love?
God loves everyone, but there are consequences for those who choose to disobey him.
Oh, so sexual orientation is a choice. But you did both decide to be heterosexual? And what about gender? Is that a choice too?
Gender and sexual orientation come naturally, but some people choose to defy God's plan for them. God's plan was for me to be a woman, to have children. God's plan for your father was to be a man.
How do you know what God's plan is? I mean, what if you don't feel attracted to the sex you're supposed to? Or feel that you were, I don't know, born in the wrong body? That you were really a different sex?
God doesn't make mistakes. If you're talking about your Aunt Marnie and Janice, just remember they're not men. No matter how much they try to act like it. Their natural God-given sexual orientation as women is clear. They have just perverted God's natural order by choosing to ignore the gifts he has given to them. Now get ready for church before we're late.
God, you just don't get it. I'm not going. I'm almost 18, and when I am, I may never go back to church, and you will be able to make me.
What? Bob, are you going to sit there and let him talk to us like this?
Look, I spent my whole life following the rules, and I'm miserable. I can't do it anymore. I don't even know how I lasted this long. You have no idea who I am inside. You just wanted a pliable, gumpy child to control and press into your preconceived mold of what a son should be.
Is all of this because you're adopted? Are you going to try to tell us that we never loved you? That we never did anything for you?
No, that's not it. I know you love me, and I love you too. Look, I know you've done your best, but you wanted a generic boy that you could mold into your idea of a man. And instead, you got me. I'm not generic, I'm unique. I'm not really like you. And because I'm different, you've missed out on the real me. I mean, I remember my biological parents. They were the same as you. I mean, even at a young age, I knew I couldn't be myself, my real self, around them either. I have been a good son. I have done what you asked of me. I have been a good son. I have tried to be what you wanted me to be. I have loved and obeyed you. I appreciate all the things you've done for me. I have loved and obeyed you. I've tried to believe all the things that you believe, but I can't do it anymore. I can't keep on being untrue to myself. I can't do it anymore. I have to be who I was born to be, but you don't see me. You see only what you want to see. You don't see me. You don't know who I really am. You don't see me. I am not you. I am not like you. I am not you. I am not like you. I am me, just me. You don't see me. You don't know me. You don't see me. You don't know me. You don't see me. I have been a good son. I have done what you asked of me. I have loved and obeyed you. I have tried to be what you wanted me to be.
Jesus Christ, what the hell was that all about?
Bob! How many times have I asked you not to take the Lord's name in vain?
I'm sorry, my bad.
What is all this difference he's talking about? Implying that we don't know him.
I have no idea. I don't think he's gay. That couldn't be it. He still has a girlfriend.
Well, we'll just have to pray about it. Turn it over to the Lord. God knows we've tried hard to be good, loving parents.
Yes, we have.
Oh, look at the time. We'll have to go to the late service. Where did Reagan go? I wanted to talk to him about his birthday. Reagan! Reagan!
Yeah.
We want to talk to you about your birthday plans. I'd like to invite all our friends from church. Don't you think that would be nice, Reagan, to have all the people who cared so much about you to be here to celebrate your birthday?
Oh, please no. I know we have to have a party or you'll never let me alone, but please, just family members, okay?
You don't want to invite Chastity and her folks?
Chassie's still out for the country for the rest of the semester, so she can't come. Besides, I mean, do you really want to expose the church friends Aunt Marnie and Aunt Janice? Or even Michaela and Justin, for that matter?
Well, now that you put it that way, maybe you're right. But we still need to plan activities. Are there any games you want to play, or do you want to have a musical program? Oh, your dad and I would love to sing a duet, right, dear?
Oh, yes, absolutely, if that's what you want, Reagan.
Oh, it is not what I want. Look, I don't really like parties, and I hate programs.
Well, what do you want?
I really just want to be left alone, but if we have to have a party, please just invite the family. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to feel like playing any games anyway.
But it's such a big birthday.
Yeah, I know.
And we're so proud of you.
Thanks. Look, don't knock yourself out on the party. I'm afraid I'll just disappoint you.
Well, we just want the best for you.
Thanks.
18. Your whole life will open up for you. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. 1 Corinthians 13:11.
I really don't want to have this conversation right now.
But you have so much to look forward to. College and a career, finding a wife, getting married.
for what a wonderful mother he has.
And what a wonderful father he has, too.
We are loving parents. We do the best we can.
God blessed us with a child to raise up to a man.
We are loving parents. We have a loving home.
We have always met his needs, kept him from the cold.
God entrusted us with his soul.
And has shown us what to do each step of the way.
We have raised him right. He knows that God loves him. We have raised him strong to stand up for himself in a fight. We are loving parents. We've tried in every way.
We know we're not perfect, but we loved him every day. We have loved him every day.
Is Olivia in bed?
Oh, yes. I've been reading her The Princess Bride. She still wants me to read her a story at age 10.
Well, of course she does.
Our day?
The worst. Sorry I'm home so late. There's a big grant proposal I'm working on, and I had a performance evaluation today. The chair of the department is not impressed with my research output, and some of my student evaluations have been low. I'm never going to get tenure at this rate.
Maybe it's not as bad as you think. Maybe you're just focusing on the negative.
Well, Mercury must be in retrograde, that's all I can figure. That or I'm going to have to work twice as hard. What a nightmare.
I'm sorry. Olivia and I made cookies this afternoon. Did you want one?
What I would like is to have more time to spend with Olivia. I'm beating my brains out at the university trying to get tenure, and you get to have fun at home with our daughter.
Yeah, well, don't forget all the laundry, cooking, cleaning, shopping, and driving Olivia to her dance lessons. I'm becoming a male version of Phyllis Diller.
Who?
Oh, she was a comedian who drew her material from her experience as a housewife.
So, did anything funny happen to you today?
No jokes emerged from the washer and dryer today. Besides, I'm still recovering from having to interview Christine on the Just in Time show. Hey, you wouldn't have any of that good stuff, would you, left over from your trip to Denver?
Oh, I do, and I actually could really use some of it right now. And you never know where wild abandon might lead us.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that. Come in.
Hey guys.
What's Mom? I need to talk to you guys. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up.
What's up? What's the matter?
It's Mom and Dad and me. Look, I know we haven't been close. Yeah, and I really do feel terrible about that. You are my little brother, or at least you have been for the last 10 years. But I've just been totally neglectful as your big sister. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to apologize. I mean, we didn't grow up together. We were raised very differently. And I know you had a difficult time with my mom when you were a kid.
Yeah, your mom tried to take over my life when I was 10. She was convinced that my dad had to divorce my mom and try to get custody of me so that we could all be missionaries together.
Huh. I
Yeah, and it might have happened except for Halloween. Dad wanted to take my cousin Sophie and I trick-or-treating, and your mom said in no uncertain terms, no. Halloween is satanic, of course, and that's why they broke up. Your mom went to Uganda alone, and I guess you know the rest of the story.
Yeah. Do you guys have a few minutes? I really need to talk to someone about some things I haven't told anyone. Well, at least no one in my family.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and lay it on us.
Alright, so from the time that I can first remember like anything, I felt weird being a boy. It was like I was born in the wrong body and I was really a girl inside. I played with girls and I wanted to dress like them and I wanted to grow my hair long. I mean, at first my parents, or my biological parents back in Uganda, thought it was a phase and I'd grow out of it. But I didn't. Eventually they got really serious about making sure I looked and acted male. I was given the message that, in no uncertain terms, that I had to act like a girl who was not only being a sissy, but was morally offensive to God. And then mom and dad, or my adopted parents, just been the same. When I lost my biological parents, I had to do most of my crying in private because I was told that boys growing up to be real men just don't need to cry.
Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry. It just sounds so awful. This explains so much. Wow.
So I vowed I would keep it all to myself and not tell anyone, at least in the family, until I was 18. And now that my birthday is close, I can finally contemplate what it'll be like to not live a lie and a double life. I mean, I'm one person inside and in on my online life, and with a lot of my trans friends, and another person entirely in public life, and at home, and church, and school.
So, what about your girlfriend Chastity? Does she know about all of this?
Oh, of course. She's part of the queer community, although her parents don't know. She's been very supportive.
And I can assume that Mom and Dad know nothing?
Oh, of course not. I can't share any of this with them.
Oh, yeah, that's a wise decision. Your mom is gonna go nuts when she finds out, and I don't know if Dad is gonna understand at all.
Well, what are your plans when you turn 18?
Oh, man, I'm coming out, and I'm going to start the process leading to gender confirmation surgery.
What does all that involve?
Well, I mean, first there's a therapist to sign off on my psychological state, and then some hormone treatments with living as a female for at least a year, and then eventually surgery. That's a long process, and it's going to cost a lot.
You must really be motivated.
I am.
Wow, this is just so serious and irreversible. Do you ever worry that at some time in the future you may regret your decision and want to go back to being male?
There's a lot of fear. I guess sometimes little doubts do crop up, but they don't last long. I mean, I know who I am inside, just like you know who you are.
Sure.
I think the little doubts are probably the result of my being raised in the straight world. It's kind of like a tape of my mom's values being played over and over and over in my head.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I can't believe how mature you're being about all this. This is a lot of heavy stuff.
I have been living like this in suspended animation my whole life, just waiting to turn 18.
So how can we help you?
I don't know. I mean, you've done a lot just by listening. I mean, I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders already. You know, can I spend the night here? I just can't go back there tonight.
Yeah, sure. Help yourself to the couch.
Oh, great. I'll call Mom and tell her I'm here. I mean, she won't mind if I stay here.
I have one more question for you. So, do you dress up and put makeup on stuff like when you're online?
Well, I try to, although I could really use some help in that area. Mom and Dad never let me be alone with Chastity, so she's never been able to really help me. I could use a big sister's help.
Sure, I'd be more than happy to help you. How about this coming Saturday?
Oh, it's a date. I'm really tired, and I'd like to go shower and crash, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure, no problem.
Good night.
Night.
Oh my goddess.
Oh, you sound just like your Aunt Marnie.
I don't care. I feel so sorry for him, her. It's just so much. It's a lot to process. A part of me just wants to run away and hide.
Me too. Hey, Olivia's in bed and Reagan's going to bed. It's just you and me and the good stuff from Denver. Let's fly away to the dark side of the moon. No one will
leading a staff meeting planning his campaign strategy, and the next he's on the floor suffering from a massive stroke.
Ooh,
My boss, he had seen the Just in Time show on TV with Christine, and I could see the veins in his temples start to throb as we started to discuss it, and then he was grabbing his head and, oh, it was just terrible. He's still in a coma, and the doctors say the prognosis is not good. I not only feel like I lost a friend and colleague, because God knows what it'll be like if he ever does come out of his coma, but now the Democrats don't have a candidate for the election in November.
that's terrible. I mean, stroke is terrible. You must be in shock. I can't believe you're worried about the election at a time like this.
Well, I'm kind of second in command. He always said that if anything happened to him, that I should run in his place. He actually made me promise to. Oh, the governor will likely appoint a retired buddy of his to serve out the rest of the term, but there will be no one running on the Democratic side if I don't.
Oh my God. Wouldn't that be a cluster bomb in this family? You running against Christine for the same office.
Oh, and our life is already really busy, and a campaign on top of that would just take it over completely for at least the next few months.
But I can't think of a more qualified person. You've been working as a gay rights advocate and women's rights attorney for years. And you're on all of the liberal legislation that is so controversial in this election.
But I've never held elected office, and I'm openly a lesbian and a pagan.
On the other hand, you have nothing to lose. There was no one else who could step up at this late date and do it. If you don't run, you'll just be handing the election to Christine on a silver platter. What is the worst she could do to you anyway, except turn off a few voters who are probably not going to vote Democratic anyway? I think this is your chance to publicly stand up for your values and defend them. And if you lose the election, at least you will have stood proudly and brought these issues out of the shadows.
I don't know. I wish your mom were here. Maureen always had the best advice.
She was your mom too, at least through marriage to Bob and then to me. And she always treated you like a member of the family. She and Jim both treated you like a daughter.
It seems so strange that she is gone. I still can't adjust to that. And Jim with his dementia is no solace these days. Oh, which reminds me, I haven't called or been out to see him in weeks, have you?
Yes, I went out to visit him last Thursday at the home. You were at another strategy meeting. He's the same. He looks happy and content, but there's no one home right now. I'm sure he didn't recognize me.
I think I fear Alzheimer's more than anything. Maybe it's just best to go fast rather than to linger on for years with increasing dementia.
Well, I don't think Mom suffered too much. It's just that everything that made her our mom faded away, and then eventually she was gone.
Gone but not forgotten. I'm glad you're here.
Of course I am. I'll always be here for you. If you decide to run for office, I will support you in every way I can. I know it won't be easy, but I honestly think it's something you should do.
I couldn't ask for anything more. I love you so much. I'm so grateful that you're in my life. You've been here for me.
I'm so thankful that you're in my life. You've been here for me. When
you?
Oh, I guess who's pregnant?
Really?
Yes, really?
What happened?
Remember that night we smoked the good stuff from Denver? We forgot to be careful.
You're kidding me. After 10 years of no pregnancy scares, I kind of thought we were done with all of that.
Oh, you kind of thought, huh? Well, it's too late for the morning after, Kip Hill. I guess I'll have to go in for a D&C.
What's that?
Oh, they just kind of go in and clean you all out.
And the baby?
You mean the ball of cells that's trying to take over my life as we speak and won't look anything like a baby for months? This is why we have Roe v. Wade. So that I can be in control of my body instead of being controlled by a small group of proliferating cells.
So, an abortion.
Yes, an abortion.
Are you sure?
Am I sure? Is the Pope Catholic?
I don't think the Pope would approve.
Okay, yeah, that was a poor choice of words. Yes, I'm sure. I maxed out with trying to get tenure and having just one child. And you do most of the work of raising Olivia. How can I possibly cope with another baby right now?
Okay, your call. I just wanted to make sure it is a life you're ending.
A life? It's a ball of cells. It has no brain, no brain waves, and no heartbeat. If it was a full-size person, we would put it on life support, and we would say it was brain dead, and then we would pull the plug.
Okay, it's your body.
Damn right it's my body.
Free from this, I wanna be free from this. Don't wanna be a host for a ball of cells just 'cause I did take the pill. Free from this, I wanna be free from this. If this was alien, there would be no one to say that I was wrong. It's my choice and my body. Wanna make my own family plans. It doesn't have the right to life inside me. I'm definitely not a fan. Yeah, free from this. I wanna be free from this. Don't wanna be a host for a ball of cells just 'cause I did take the pill. Free from this. I wanna be free from this. Don't wanna be a host for a ball of cells just 'cause I did take the pill. Yeah. Welcome.
Yes, welcome to our home. I don't think either of you have ever been here before, so this is quite an occasion.
Well, I don't think we've ever been invited, but we certainly want to help celebrate Reagan's 18th birthday.
Is Michaela here?
She's upstairs with Reagan. I think Reagan has planned a surprise for us. Would you like some lemonade?
Sure, thank you.
Well, now that everyone is here, where is Reagan?
I can go up and check it out and see what the holdup is.
So Bob, have you had a chance to visit Jim lately?
Oh, geez, I keep meaning to go visit, and well, then something always seems to come up. I think it's been about a year. Oh, how's he doing?
A year, Bob? That was the one thing that Mom asked us to do, was to take care of Jim after she was gone.
Yeah.
I'll make sure it gets on Bob's calendar. He has been very busy being my campaign manager, so I'm partially to blame.
Well, I don't get there as often as I would like either. He seems happy in his own world, peaceful. He doesn't recognize me anymore, but spiritually we always connect.
Where's Reagan?
Things are kind of going slowly up there. Look, this is not exactly what you may have thought Reagan was going to do for this party. I just want to prepare you all for what's about to happen. Fasten your safety belts.
Oh, this has gone on long enough. Reagan, Reagan, you get down here right this instant. You're the birthday boy and everyone is waiting for you.
I don't know if Reagan's gonna come. It's kind of touch and go up there.
Reagan, come down here right now. Do I have to come up there and get you myself? Oh, what fun! Are you gonna sing a song?
Hi everyone. You're probably wondering why I'm dressed this way. No, I'm not singing a song, Mom. I have kind of an announcement to make.
It's okay, go ahead.
All my life, from the time I was little, even before my original parents died, I felt like I was born in the wrong body, and that I should have been a girl instead of a boy. My biological mom and dad thought it was a phase and forbade me from playing with dolls and dressing in girls' clothes. And after I was adopted, and I really appreciate it, and I know you both love me a lot, and I love you too. Anyway, you both knew how I felt inside, but you were convinced that you could train it out of me. Forbid it, ignore it, pray it away. I felt totally trapped and oppressed, imprisoned in my own body and in my own family because the person I was inside was not allowed to be recognized. So no, I am not dressing for drag for fun. Today, I am announcing to the world that my gender is female. I am no longer male and will do everything in my power now that I am 18 to fully transition to being the person that I always knew I was inside, a woman.
Hey, Jesus Christ, you're kidding, right?
No, I'm not.
I'm stunned. Speechless. I can't believe it. My son? A woman? This is outrageous. You go upstairs right this minute and change your clothes. Take off that awful bra and the ridiculous makeup.
No, Mom, this is not a reflection on you or how you've raised me. This is who I am and who I'm gonna be for the rest of my life.
Well, what does that mean? Are you planning to have some kind of operation?
Yeah, I am. I mean, it takes time, but I'm starting now. I mean, the transition, it involves physiological counseling, hormone therapy, living as a woman in real time for at least a year, and finally gender confirmation surgery.
Gender confirmation surgery? What the hell is that? Is that what Bruce Jenner did? A sex change operation?
This is a nightmare. That's mutilation you're talking about. This whole thing is a hateful defiance of God's plan and a desecration of God's gift to you as a man. Ugh, it's an absolute abomination.
Abomination, desecration, mutilation, a mother's desperation. What can a mother say to make a woman so change his mind? What can I tell you that you haven't heard 1,000 times about how special you are? No very special in God's eyes. You are a man. God has given you His greatest gift, and you are turning your back on it. You are spitting on God. You are spitting on me. Why are you doing this to us? I am heartbroken. Your fathers are broken. We have been good parents. We have raised you right. This is a betrayal of all that we have taught you. All that we've given you in sacrifice. We
words.
Even the part about not being his mother.
He's making that choice, not me. Do you think I want him to do any of this? As parents, we need to hold high and uncompromising moral standards for our children. And they need to obey. The eye that mocks a father, that scorns obedience to a mother, will be pecked out by the ravens of the valley, will be eaten by vultures. Proverbs 30:17.
That's gross.
And you don't think what Reagan's doing is gross? Well, maybe you wouldn't. What kind of society are we living in where people openly defy God? This is a result of decades of immoral liberal policies, promoting birth control, abortion, gay marriage, and now transgender rights.
Well, Christine, some of us believe we have a right to control what goes on in our own bodies. I'm in a very early stage of pregnancy right now, but I'm planning to have an abortion because a baby is not in my plans right now.
What you're talking about is murder. This is where liberal policies, the liberal media have taken us. Murder of the innocent. You're so concerned with your own selfish plans. What about God's plans?
Are you sure you know what God's plans are before you go legislating them into everybody's lives?
I know what God says about murder. You shall not murder. Exodus 20:13.
This fetus that I'm carrying is not a person yet. And so it can't be murder. And I'm really not interested in what your God says. I can quote you right back from the Bible, all kinds of terrible things that your God does. Their infants will be dashed into pieces before their eyes. Their houses will be plundered and their wives ravished. Isaiah 13:16. Praise Jesus.
Please, no more dueling Bible verses.
We don't live in a theocracy like Iran, and we don't have a state religion. That means we can't use the Bible or some person's interpretation of it as our sole authority on morality. In a democracy, the moral consensus draws on many different traditions and ethical systems.
In this country, there is only one source of morality, and the people of this state know what that is. We'll let the voters decide. Everyone who votes for me knows where I stand on these issues.
Aren't you worried about the press getting a hold of this story? Self-righteous family values candidate has transgender son.
Well, anyway, Christine, you won't be unopposed at the polls. I have my own announcement to make. I will be running against you in the state senate election to give voters a choice.
That's
Congratulations! Ah, this is awesome! Now I have two mothers-in-law running for office against each other. How lucky can a guy get?
This is no laughing matter.
Isn't it? How else do you think an outsider like me could possibly cope with all this craziness? This family is nuts. We have the new civil war right here in our own family where sister is fighting sister on both sides of the new ideological great divide. Reproduction and gender rights, not to mention guns and the environment and health care.
Oh my God. Janice and Christine are sisters-in-law, aren't they?
Well, they've both been married to Bob, but that doesn't make them sisters-in-law.
No, but since Bob is my brother, Christine is my sister-in-law. And since Janice is my wife, Christine is her sister-in-law too.
So, Bob's wife number 2 and wife number 3 are now sisters. Kind of like sister wives.
No!
Sisters-in-law, fighting tooth and claw. Tune in just in time to see the show. Sisters-in-law, who will win out in the end? Who is it we're gonna send to represent us? choose what goes on inside our wad? Or is that controlled by legislators in the name of God? Can we marry who we want to, change our gender if we choose? Or should rights be denied to the LGBTQ? Can we breastfeed in public, or should mothers hide in shame? Should we try to get the Equal Rights Amendment passed again? Should we balance the budget? Is global warming okay? Should we defund Obamacare or the EPA? What about assault rifles in our businesses and schools? Should the NRA set policy, or should we change the rules? Should we raise the minimum wage for equal work, give equal pay? Should we regulate pollution or let the chips fall where they may? How about taxes for the wealthy? Help pay for all our spending. Will the middle class survive the way that we are trending? These are values that the public must weigh in on at the polls, but we've got two ideologies tugging at our souls. Sister 1 here has the Bible and tradition in her court. Sister 2 says she's a feminist and pagan of sorts. Will the public choose the missionary position once again, or try something new that evangelicals call sin? Looks like I'll have a ringside seat to see how this all